Okay, we are going to work on making a project with our butterflies where we're studying about. So what you'll need to have with you is you'll need to get a coffee filter that you flattened out. You'll need scissors, a pencil, markers, not permanent, but the washable markers. That's important. Do not use permanent, but washable markers. And something that has water where you can spray the water. I just got this little bottle of something else that cleans my glasses, and it was about empty, so I washed it out and I've filled it with water, and it needs to be like a spray bottle. Okay, you'll also need some kind of like a paper plate, or I'm using a plastic plate, and I'm going to put a paper towel in it. You don't have to do the paper towel. I'm doing it so that it will show up really well what you're going to be doing. And then where I've sent it to your parents, a template of a butterfly. Okay? All right. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take your template of your butterfly and you need to cut it out. So anytime during this process that you need to stop and pause so you can get it done for the next step, you can do it. So right now, we're going to cut out our butterfly. And here we go. We've cut out our butterfly. So the next step is with this cutout of the butterfly, you're going to take your coffee filter and lay this butterfly on top of the coffee filter. And with your pencil, very carefully, you're going to trace around. You might need help with an adult. You've got to do it real slow, that you don't move it, and trace around the butterfly and get it on to your coffee filter. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So here we have it traced. I've done it with a marker so it shows up better. Pencil won't show it very well on the recording, but you can see it on yours. So the next step is you're going to fold it on what's called its line of symmetry. This is where you take and you match up one side to the other. So I'm going to look at the corner edge of this top wing, and I'm going to try to pull it over and match it up with the top of this other wing. Now, if you have a light that you can hold it up to look at it, to make sure it's lined up, you could do that. And then you want to make sure the bottom ones line up as well. Once you've got everything lined up, then you want to crease it, where you've got exactly half on one side and half on the other. Okay, and then you're going to take that, and we're all going to keep it folded for the next step. This next step is where your markers come in. You're just going to lightly, you don't want to fill it all the way in, color in some colors that you want to have on your butterfly. And you don't have to have your colors touching. You can have some white space in between them. So now that's what you're going to be doing next. You're going to be coloring in just one side of your butterfly. Okay, so here we have my butterfly colored just this half. If I turn it over, you can tell this is the back side. Some of it came through, and that's okay. But then you see I still have some white space. That's all right. So your next step is to get your plate or whatever you're going to put this on so that the colors don't get on like the table and things. Because your next step is to take your spray bottle and spray it. Now I want you to watch. I don't do a lot. I just do enough to get it wet. And you'll see some of the colors start to spread. I'm done. I don't want to get it soaking wet. Don't get it soaking wet. Okay, you're going to leave that for just a minute or two to let those colors bleed through. And once you've done that, after about 1 minute, I'll tell you, we'll go to the next step. So after 1 minute, you will open up your butterfly and it will look like this. It will be on both sides. You've got the colors at the same places on both sides, and that's the symmetry kicking in. Symmetry means it looks exactly the same shape, but we're also now getting the symmetry in on the same sides of the butterfly wings. And if you'll notice, butterflies in nature, they are that way. Whatever's on this wing at the tip, it's on the other wing at the same place. So I want you to notice that when you're going out and looking for the butterflies in their environment. Notice how it's symmetrical and they have the same thing on both sides. Now the next step is we need to let this dry. So you need to take it somewhere and let it get completely dry. And once it's completely dry, I'll show you what is coming up next. So after it's dry, it'll look like this. And so our next step is to use our scissors and cut out our butterfly. So we're going to cut out the butterfly. And here is my symmetrical butterfly. And you could put this up in a window and it look like a stained glass window with the sun shining through it. And here's a different one that I made when I was testing this out to see if it worked. They look very similar, but they're not the same. The colors are just a little bit different. So these are our symmetrical butterflies made from coffee filters. I hope you have fun doing this. Enjoy.